The ocean was never truly silent, but on that day, something disturbed its depths in a way that had never been recorded before. A research vessel, Ocean Sentinel, was conducting routine deep-sea scans when the sonar operator froze. The screen displayed an anomaly, an impossibly large moving object, over 500 miles long. At first, the crew assumed it was a system glitch. But recalibrations only confirmed the same terrifying truth. Something enormous was rising from the deep. Satellite images revealed a faint but distinct outline beneath the waves. It was too large to be a whale, too defined to be an undersea ridge. As the team zoomed in, they saw what looked like the contours of a massive head. Murmurs spread through the control room. Some called it a biological impossibility. Others whispered an ancient name, Leviathan. The lead scientist, Dr. Alan Mercer, attempted to remain logical. It could be an undiscovered species, he said, trying to steady his voice. But if this thing is really moving, and we may be looking at the largest living organism on the planet. Still skeptical, the team deployed deep-sea drones to investigate. The unmanned crafts descended into the abyss, their lights carving through the darkness. As they neared the anomaly, the control screens flickered. Static interference increased. Then, without warning, all connections were lost. The drones were gone. Before anyone could react, the sonar picked up a deep, resonant sound. A low, thunderous vibration like a roar echoing through the ocean. The ship trembled slightly, as if something massive had stirred beneath them. Then, the unthinkable happened. The massive shape began to move upward toward the surface. The world was about to meet something it was never prepared to face. The ocean trembled. Seismographs across the Pacific detected an unexplained disturbance, a slow but deliberate shift in the depths. At first, experts believed it was tectonic activity, but the pattern was unlike anything ever recorded. The readings were not random. They were rhythmic. Something was moving. Back on the Ocean Sentinel, panic spread through the research team. The massive shape on the sonar had begun its ascent, and calculations showed it was rising faster than anticipated. Dr. Alan Mercer gripped the edge of the control panel as another deep, guttural sound rippled through the water. It wasn't static interference. It was a sound, something vast and ancient awakening from the abyss. "This can't be real," whispered one of the technicians, staring at the sonar. The screen showed a shifting mass larger than the state of Texas, its outline gradually becoming more distinct. The comparison was horrifying. No known species, no geological structure could match this size except one. Leviathan. News had already leaked. Satellite images and sonar readings had made their way to the press. Social media erupted in speculation. Was this an undiscovered species, an undersea mountain breaking apart? Or was it truly the beast from prophecy, the harbinger of the end? But the real terror came when the first aerial images were released. A research drone captured footage just before its feed cut to static. The final frame sent chills through every scientist and government official who saw it. It wasn't an illusion. It wasn't a trick of the waves. It was a head, a massive, serpentine head breaking through the ocean's surface for the first time in human history. Before the video feed cut out, one detail stood out among the murky waters, and it was open. And it was watching. The world was watching. Within hours, the leaked drone footage spread across social media, news networks, and conspiracy forums. The image of the colossal serpentine head rising from the ocean became the most analyzed photograph in history. Experts debated its authenticity, while religious leaders issued dire warnings. Some called it a natural anomaly. Some called it a hoax, but those who truly understood the implications knew this was neither. This was an omen. On the Ocean Sentinel, the research team was in full crisis mode. The beast wasn't just alive, it was aware. It had surfaced for a reason. Dr. Mercer stood frozen before the main screen, watching the massive sonar readings shift unpredictably. Something had changed. The creature wasn't just moving, it was now reacting to them. "We need to shut down transmissions," he ordered, "if it's following our signals." But it was too late. A deafening sound ripped through the hull of the ship. Not from the speakers, not from any equipment. It was coming from outside. A deep, resonant hum, so low it was almost beyond human hearing. The very water around them began to tremble, vibrating in sync with inhuman frequency. Crew members fell to their knees, clutching their heads as the sound grew, a sound that wasn't just noise. It was a call. Across the globe, seismic monitors detected unexplained disturbances in multiple oceans. Something was answering. From the sea depths of the Antarctic, from the dark trenches of the Pacific, from places long thought dead, new signals emerged. Tremors, shifts in the seabed, strange vibrations recorded in deep-sea hydrophones. The Ocean Sentinel had unknowingly awakened something far greater than a single creature. Leviathan was not alone. And the world had only just begun to understand the scale of the nightmare it was facing. Panic swept across the world. Governments scrambled for explanations. Scientists demanded more data. Religious leaders called it the beginning of the end. Satellite imagery showed disturbances in every major ocean, unexplained waves, deep-sea tremors, and shifting tectonic plates. But the most terrifying revelation came from the Antarctic anomaly. Beneath the ice, something was moving. On the Ocean Sentinel, chaos had taken hold. The strange, low-frequency hum hadn't stopped, it had grown stronger. The entire ship vibrated as if caught in an invisible current. Instruments flickered wildly, unable to process the overwhelming data. "It's not just one," Dr. Mercer whispered, his face pale. "There are others." The sonar screen flickered, overloaded with signals. Shapes massive, far beyond anything recorded in history, moved beneath the waves. Not one, not two, dozens. Deep beneath the surface, the awakening had begun. For millennia, these creatures had slept, hidden in the abyss where no human dared to venture. But now, something had stirred them. Perhaps it was time, perhaps it was instinct, or perhaps they had been waiting for the call. And Leviathan had called. The world above began to fracture. Coastal cities reported unexplained power surges, as if something massive was interfering with electrical grids. Entire fishing vessels vanished, swallowed by monstrous waves. Military submarines sent distress signals before going silent forever. And then the footage leaked. A classified deep-sea drone, launched near the Antarctic rift, had captured something impossible. The image spread like wildfire. A colossal eye, open for the first time in untold centuries. A silhouette, larger than the mountains themselves, shifting in the darkness. And then a movement. Not drifting, not swaying, but rising. Something beneath Antarctica was waking up. And it was far bigger than Leviathan. The world was on the brink. Leviathan had risen. But the terrifying truth was it was not alone. Governments had issued global emergency alerts. Coastal cities were being evacuated. The military had mobilized across the Pacific, Atlantic, and Antarctic regions. Nuclear submarines patrolled the depths, their crews trembling at what their sonar revealed. An entire network of ancient titans was moving. But then something even worse happened. Satellite feeds went dark. GPS systems failed. Entire power grids collapsed. The world's oceans churned with unprecedented force, generating rogue waves hundreds of meters high. And then, the sky itself began to change. On the Ocean Sentinel, Dr. Mercer clutched the railing as the ship was tossed by unnatural currents. His team frantically scanned their equipment, but nothing made sense anymore. The frequency, that deep, haunting hum that had plagued their journey, had reached a deafening crescendo. It wasn't just noise, it was a signal. The creatures weren't just awakening, they were responding to something. Then, a transmission cut through the static, a desperate, garbled message from a nearby research base in Antarctica. "It's not Leviathan, it's something else, something bigger." The message cut out. Seconds later, a seismic event shook the ocean floor. The ship's instruments registered an impossible reading. Something the size of an entire continent was moving. It was never about one creature. The Leviathan of legend was terrifying, yes, but it had never been alone. The ancient texts had always warned of something even greater, something buried beneath the ice, sealed away until the end of days. And now, that seal was breaking. In the following days, satellite imagery captured a growing rift in Antarctica. A crack in the earth itself. Tidal waves crashed against continents, reshaping coastlines. Entire naval fleets vanished, pulled beneath the waves. And then, the world witnessed the impossible. A shadow, stretching for miles, broke through the Antarctic ice shelf. A form, indescribable in size, loomed beneath the waves. And a sound, low and earth-shattering, echoed across the planet. Not just a hum, not just a roar, A call. Something had awakened. And humanity's time was running out. The truth is terrifying. And this is just the beginning. What else is hidden beneath the depths? What ancient forces are waking up? Don't miss out on the full story. Subscribe to my channel for more shocking discoveries, forgotten legends, and the mysteries that science can't explain. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next revelation, because what's coming next will change everything. Subscribe now. The abyss is calling. Will you dare to look?